All right, guys, we are moving into chapter 4. You'll notice this first section deals with slope-intercept form, which is something that we have some experience with. So let's get going right on that. So 4.1, writing equations in slope-intercept form. So our first example here, pretty straightforward, where we're asked to write an equation of a line given the slope and a y-intercept. So just making sure that we're aware and we remember, right, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where our m value is our slope and our b value is our y-intercept. So they're giving us our slope and our y-intercept, which is the two things that we need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So all we're going to do is we're just going to plug in our values here for our slope, which is m, and our y-intercept, which is b. So in this case here, y equals 3x negative 3x 1/2. Your y-intercept could be a fraction. That's perfectly fine. Okay, and there's your equation right there. Notice here, your slope is equal to 0. Hopefully you're thinking to yourself, oh, slope equal to 0, that means it's a horizontal line. So we can write our equations as y equals 0x plus 2, but 0 times anything is just equal to 0, so a better way to write this would just be y equals 2. And we know that y equals a number is a horizontal line, and we know that horizontal lines have slopes that are equal to 0. So pretty easy if they give you the slope and the y-intercept right away. In this particular example here, in example 2, we're given a graph and we're asked to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So what do you need? You need a slope and you need a y-intercept in order to write in slope-intercept form. Well, if we notice in both of these graphs, they've given us what the y-intercept is. So we can see right here, there's my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is equal to negative 3. Well, I need to find my slope. So you've given a graph, you have two choices. You can use your slope formula, m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Or we can just use rise over run to find the slope. So I'm going to use rise over run. I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went up 6. And I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4, right 4. So my slope, m, is equal to 6 over 4, or 3/2. So now I have a y-intercept, I have a slope, I can write it in slope-intercept form. So y is equal to mx plus b, my slope, 3/2 x, minus 3, my y-intercept. And there's my answer to our first one. Same idea on the second one. Right here I can see there's my y-intercept, so I know that my y-intercept is at negative 2. I want to figure out what my slope is. Maybe you want to use the slope formula. That's fine. You could use the slope formula. So here is x1 and y1. Here is x2 and y2. So you would do negative 1 minus 2 over 4 minus 0. You're going to get a slope of negative 3 over 4. Okay, you would get it the same way if you did rise over run, down 1, 2, 3, so down 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd get that same slope of negative 3 over 4. Let's write our equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals negative 3/4 x, minus 2. So again, the key thing here is that in order to write your equation in slope-intercept form, you need to find that slope and that y-intercept, whether it's from points or a graph or so on and so forth. Continuing on here, okay, now we're given 2 points, and they said find the slope and the y-intercept. But notice, what is this point right here? That's the point 0, negative 1. If we make a quick sketch of that, that's this point right here. What is that point? That point is our y-intercept. So they're giving you the y-intercept in these problems. Again, this is my y-intercept, okay? So now what do I need? I have my y-intercept, I need my slope. What am I going to use? I'm going to use my slope formula. m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right? So m is equal to, here's x1, here's y1, here's x2, here's y2. Negative 1 minus 5 over negative 3 minus 0. So m is equal to negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6 over negative 3. Your slope is equal to a positive 2. You should reduce all the fractions. So now we have our slope m. We just said here's our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is b is equal to negative 1. Now it's just like the first two problems we've done. We've got a slope and a y-intercept. Let's write our equation of our line. Y equals 2x minus 1. I'm just plugging back in, remember, to our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Same idea here on our second example. Find the slope. We know here's my y-intercept, so I know my b is already equal to negative 5. Let's find the slope here. So m is equal to y2, negative 5, minus y1, minus a negative 5, over 8 minus 0. Now you'll notice here both of your y values are the same. They're negative 5. Special case going on here. M is equal to negative 5 plus 5, which is 0, over 8. So your slope is equal to 0. What do we know? We know that's going to be a horizontal line. Just y equals a number. Can you write it like y equals 0x minus 5? Sure, you could. But we want the best possible answer, which is the most simplified answer, which is just y equals negative 5. Remember, 0 in your numerator, perfectly allowed, perfectly acceptable. That represents a slope of 0. If 0 were to be in the denominator, that would mean that we have an undefined slope, and then we'd have x equals a number. Example 4. So now we're just looking at it in a different type of notation. We're looking at it in function notation. Don't get confused about function notation. We're doing the exact same thing. This represents an x value equal to 0 and a y value equal to 10. So we really have the point 0, 10. And once again, this is your x value, and this is your y value. So we really have a point 6, 34. So write it in the same form that you've been dealing with, and it'll make your life easier. Remember, function notation, f of x equals something. That's your x value right here. And then this value right here is your y value. So now you've got 2 points. Once again, look at that special point. There's your y-intercept. So you know that your y-intercept, your b value, is equal to 10. Have to find the slope. How do I find the slope? Use your slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my slope, y2, is going to be 34 minus my y1 minus 10 over 6 minus 0. So your slope is 24 over 6, which is just equal to 4. There's my slope. We found our y-intercept. Write it in slope-intercept form. Just plug it in, m and b. Y equals 4x plus 10. So again, what do you need to write in slope-intercept form? You need a slope, you need a y-intercept. Here's the most difficult and most challenging example, okay, where you're given 2 points, but neither of those points are the y-intercept. So what do we need? We need a slope and we need a y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b, right? But we don't have either of those. All we have are the points 1, 5, and 4, negative 2. If we want to plot those points, 1, 5 right here, 4, negative 2 would be down here, okay? I want to figure out what my y-intercept is. I know it's going to be somewhere above 5 because my graph goes something like this. But how do I do that? Well, let's see. Step 1, and you should be writing this down, is find the slope. So I have to find the slope of my lines using my formula, once again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It's important that you write these steps down here, okay, when we're not given a y-intercept. If we're given a y-intercept, it's easy. So let's find our slope. M is equal to y2, negative 2, minus 5, over 4 minus 1. So my slope, negative 2 minus 5, is going to be negative 7 over 3. So there's my slope. Well, how do I find the y-intercept here? This is a little bit annoying, okay? What I have to do is I have to use my slope-intercept formula or equation. We're going to plug in one of the points for x and y, and then we're going to solve for b. And what we're solving for is we're solving for the y-intercept. So I found my slope right here. Now I'm going to use my equation, y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to pick one of my points. I'm going to pick this point because it's a little bit easier. So y equals m, which we know, negative 7/3, x plus b. And we have to solve for that b. How am I going to solve? I'm going to plug in my values of my point. I'm going to use the first point. So 5 is equal to negative 7/3 times 1 plus b. How did I get this? All I'm doing here, guys, is I'm plugging in my point, x and y, into my equation, and I'm going to solve for b. So 5 is equal to negative 7/3 times 1, which is just negative 7/3, plus b. Add the 7/3 to both sides. You get either a fraction or a decimal here. You end up getting b, if we do that, is equal to 22 over 3. There is my y-intercept right there. So again, the steps when you don't have the y-intercept is a little bit more challenging because you have to go ahead, find the slope first using your 2 points, then use the slope-intercept formula, plug in one of your points for x and y, and solve for b. We're not done yet though, because what does our question actually ask us? It says write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, now I have my slope and I have my y-intercept. Now I can write it in slope-intercept form. So y equals, yes, there's some ugly fractions here, negative 7/3 x plus 22/3, and that's my equation of my line right there. So the most challenging examples that you're going to see are these examples right here when you're not given the y-intercept, when you're just given 2 points. How do we do that? Find the slope, use your slope-intercept formula to find the y-intercept b, and then you can write your equation there. Good luck, guys. See you in class.